Arsenal are coming for two big ones this summer, and it is getting very exciting. Anthony Gordon and Adam Wharton are both linked with a move to the Emirates. Here is everything you need to know. Right, let us be honest with each other for a second. Every summer, Arsenal fans go through the same thing. The transfer window opens, the rumours start flying, and we all sit there refreshing our phones at midnight, hoping to see the words confirmed and done. It can be exciting. It can also be absolutely exhausting, but this summer feels different. The names being linked with Arsenal this time are not just random targets thrown out by clickbait websites. These are serious players with serious money being talked about and serious signs that Mikel Arteta is ready to make a big statement. Two names in particular have been getting everyone talking in the Arsenal community. Anthony Gordon, the winger from Newcastle United, who is 25 years old and costs around £95 million. And Adam Wharton, the defensive midfielder from Crystal Palace, who is just 22 years old and would cost around £80 million. That is £175 million combined. Yes, you read that correct. So let us break all of this down properly. Who are these players? Why does Arsenal want them? What is the latest news? And what would it actually mean for the club if both deals go through? Grab a cup of tea. This is going to be a good one. First things first, why does Arsenal even need these players? Before we get into the details of each player, it is worth asking the big question, why? Arsenal have been building something special under Arteta. They came so close to winning the Premier League in the last couple of seasons. The squad is talented. The football has been really good to watch. So what is missing? Well, that is the whole point. When you come close but do not quite get there, you have to look at the areas where you can improve. Arteta has been very clear about wanting to build his squad around a core of English players, players who understand the Premier League, players who bring energy, fight and quality. And that is exactly where Gordon and Wharton come in. One fills a gap on the left wing where Arsenal need more pace and creativity to hurt teams that sit deep. The other fills the gap in the holding midfielder role, a position that has been a talking point for Arsenal fans for a long time now. Both of them are young, both of them are English, and both of them have shown they can perform at the highest level. Does that make you feel better about spending £175 million? It should. Because when you look at it like that, this is not just throwing money around. This is a targeted plan to fix real problems. Anthony Gordon, the left winger Arsenal have been dreaming about. Let us start with Anthony Gordon because honestly, the news around him is moving very fast right now. Gordon is 25 years old and plays on the left wing for Newcastle United. He is quick, direct, hardworking, and he can score goals. He has been one of the best players in the Premier League over the last couple of seasons, and Newcastle fans absolutely love him. But all the signs are pointing towards him leaving St James Park this summer, and Arsenal are right at the front of the queue. The price that is being talked about is £95 million. That is a big fee. But when you consider the level Gordon is playing at and the fact that he still has plenty of years ahead of him, clubs will see that as fair value for a player of his quality. So what is the latest on Gordon to Arsenal? This is where it gets really interesting. Reports from The Sun have confirmed that Arsenal hold what is being described as a huge advantage in the race to sign Gordon. The reason? Gordon himself wants to move to London above anywhere else. He wants London specifically, not Liverpool, not Manchester, London. That is a massive detail. When a player has a preference like that, it changes everything. It means Arsenal do not just have to outbid the other clubs. They already have the player on their side. Now let us talk about the competition because it is real. Liverpool are interested. Manchester United are also known to be admirers of Gordon. And perhaps most surprisingly, reports from Germany suggest that Bayern Munich have been looking at a summer move too. So this is not a simple deal. There are big clubs, but according to an exclusive report from Football Transfers, Arsenal are currently considered the most likely club to sign Gordon. And the same report says that Arteta's side are set to make an official bid for him this summer. That is not just a rumour on a fan forum. That is a direct report saying a bid is coming. There is one more piece to this story that you need to know. Eddie Howe, the Newcastle manager, has actually come out and said something very telling. He confirmed that he will not select Gordon for Newcastle remaining fixtures if he believes Gordon is distracted by the interest from Arsenal. Think about that for a moment. The manager is already preparing for the possibility that Gordon might not be fully focused on Newcastle because his head is elsewhere. That tells you everything about where this situation is heading. David Ornstein, one of the most trusted journalists in football, also weighed in on this situation a few hours ago. Ornstein stated that Arsenal have previously had an interest in signing Gordon. He was careful to note that he does not know if Gordon is currently a top priority for Arsenal. That is Ornstein being professional and honest rather than just feeding the hype. But the key point is that the interest has been there and it has not gone away. So here is the question for you. Do you think Arsenal should spend £95 million on Anthony Gordon? Is he the kind of player who can finally take Arsenal to the next level? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this is a big one. Adam Wharton, the young midfielder who could change everything for Arsenal now. Let us talk about Adam Wharton, and this one is really exciting if you understand what Arsenal need right now. Wharton is only 22 years old and plays as a defensive midfielder for Crystal Palace. For those who do not know the defensive midfielder role, think of it as the player who sits in front of the defence and protects the back four, the player who wins the ball, breaks up attacks and keeps things simple so the more creative players around him can do their work. It is one of the most important positions on the pitch, even if it does not always get the attention it deserves. Wharton burst onto the scene at Crystal Palace and impressed so much that he was called up to the England national team at 22. That is how good this kid is. What is the latest on Wharton to Arsenal? Reports confirm that Arsenal are monitoring Wharton closely. The word monitoring is important here because it means this has moved beyond casual interest. This is active watching, active tracking of a specific player. The fee being discussed internally among clubs is around £70 million, which works out to roughly €80 million or 95 million US dollars. Crystal Palace know what they have. They are not going to let Wharton go cheaply, but reports suggest that £70 million would be enough to get the deal done. Now here is the really big detail. Fraser Fletcher revealed back in February that Wharton already has an informal agreement to leave Selhurst Park this summer. He wants to go. Crystal Palace have accepted that he will leave. The only question now is who he goes to and for how much. This is different from the Gordon situation where there is genuine competition and a battle to be won. With Wharton, it feels like the door is already open. Arsenal just need to walk through it. Think about what Wharton would bring to Arsenal. He is young, which means he would grow with the team for years. He is English, which fits Arteta's project perfectly. He has already shown he can handle Premier League football and international football. And at just 22, his best years are completely ahead of him. Would you pay £70 million for a 22-year-old defensive midfielder who is already at this level and has the best years of his career still to come? When you think about it like that, it actually sounds like smart business. The bigger picture, what does this tell us about Arsenal this summer? When you put these two transfer stories together, a very clear picture starts to form about what Arteta and the Arsenal board are planning for this summer. First, they want English players. Both Gordon and Wharton are English. Both of them play in the Premier League right now. Both of them already know what it takes to compete in this league every single week. There is no settling in period needed. They can come in and contribute straight away. Second, Arsenal are clearly ready to spend big money. A combined £175 million on two players is not a small investment. It sends a message to every other club in the Premier League and in Europe that Arsenal mean business. The days of missing out on targets because another club was willing to spend a bit more are over. Third, the focus on youth is clear. Gordon is 25, Wharton is 22. These are not short-term signings. These are players who could be at the heart of what Arsenal are building for the next 5 to 7 years. That is proper long-term planning. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, Arteta has said the club wants to build around talented English players. He said it before, and the transfer activity this summer is showing that it was not just talk, it was a genuine strategy. Put Gordon on the left wing and Wharton in the holding midfield role, and Arsenal suddenly look like a very different team. More balanced, more solid at the back, more dangerous going forward. It is exciting just thinking about it, but let us be realistic. What could go wrong? It would not be a proper Arsenal discussion if we did not acknowledge the things that could go wrong. Because as every Arsenal fan knows, the transfer window has a way of throwing surprises at you. With Gordon, the competition is real. Liverpool have money. Manchester United have been rebuilding. Bayern Munich are always dangerous in the transfer market. Even with Gordon wanting to go to London, those clubs could come in with a bigger offer or better contract terms. Money talks in football and always will. There is also the question of whether Newcastle will sell at all. Newcastle have been building their own project. They have ambitions of their own. Losing a player like Gordon could set them back, and Eddie Howe might push hard to keep him. The £95 million fee might not be enough for Newcastle to say yes easily. With Wharton, the situation seems cleaner. He appears ready to leave, and Crystal Palace seem ready for him to go. But football is full of deals that seem done only to fall apart at the last minute. There could be other clubs who come in with a bigger offer. There could be personal terms that do not get agreed. Nothing in football is confirmed until the player is holding up the shirt. And then there is the financial side. £175 million is a lot of money, even for a club like Arsenal. Financial fair play rules, squad balance regulations, and the general economics of running a football club all come into play. Arsenal cannot just spend without limits. Do you think Arsenal can get both deals done, or will they have to choose just one? That is a real possibility and one worth thinking about. If both deals happen, what does the Arsenal squad look like? Let us have a bit of fun here and think about what Arsenal could look like if both signings happen. With Wharton in the defensive midfield role, Arsenal have someone who can sit behind the likes of Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice and provide real cover for the defence. He can win the ball in dangerous areas, he can recycle possession, and he brings a calmness to that position that helps everything else around him work better. With Gordon on the left wing, Arsenal have a player who can take defenders on, create chances, and get into goal-scoring positions. He's the kind of player who makes defenders uncomfortable because they never quite know what he is going to do next. Pace, skill, and an eye for goal. Those are qualities that any team wants on their wing. The depth of the squad improves too. More good players means more competition for places, which pushes every player to perform better. It means Arsenal can manage injuries and suspensions without the quality dropping off. It means Arteta has real options in every game. It is not hard to see why fans are excited. This could genuinely be the summer that pushes Arsenal from nearly men to champions. What the Olivia Sports Arsenal community is saying here in the Olivia Sports Arsenal community, the reaction to these transfer stories has been electric. And honestly, that makes complete sense. These are not small transfers. These are statement signings. Some fans are absolutely buzzing at the idea of Gordon in an Arsenal shirt. The pace, the energy, the ability to beat a man one-on-one. On the left side of an already talented Arsenal attack, he would be terrifying for opposition defenders. Others are more focused on Wharton. They see the defensive midfield position as the key piece Arsenal have been missing. A proper holding midfielder who can protect the defence and allow Rice to push forward more. Someone who makes the whole team better just by being in the right position at the right time. And a lot of people are saying both. Give us both. Make the statement. Show the rest of the Premier League that Arsenal are serious this time. What about you? Who would you prioritise if Arsenal could only sign one of the two, Gordon or Wharton? Head to the comments and let us know. This community is always at its best when we are all talking about Arsenal together. Quick summary of the key facts. Anthony Gordon from Newcastle United is 25 years old, plays on the left wing and would cost around £95 million. Arsenal are reported to be the front runners for his signature. Gordon wants to move to London specifically. Liverpool, Manchester United and Bayern Munich are also interested. Eddie Howe has already signalled he might leave Gordon out of the team if his focus is elsewhere. An official Arsenal bid is expected this summer. Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace is 22 years old, plays as a defensive midfielder and would cost around £70 million. Arsenal are monitoring him closely. Wharton is reported to have an informal agreement to leave Crystal Palace this summer. The deal seems more straightforward than the Gordon situation, but still needs to be done. Final thoughts. This summer could be the one every Arsenal fan knows that feeling. That feeling of watching your team come so close to something great only to fall just short. It is one of the most frustrating feelings in football, but it is also what makes the next opportunity feel so important. This summer feels like an opportunity, a real one. The players being targeted are the right ones. The strategy makes sense. The money appears to be there. And for once, Arsenal seem to be the team chasing the right players at the right time with real intent. Gordon brings the X factor on the left side that Arsenal have lacked. Someone who can change a game in an instant, someone who puts fear into defenders before the game even starts. Wharton brings the foundation that lets everyone else around him play better, the kind of quiet leader that every great team needs. If Arteta can get both of these deals done before the season starts, Arsenal will go into next year with genuine belief that this is their time, not just hope, genuine belief. We will be keeping a very close eye on both of these stories as the summer unfolds. Every update, every development, every confirmation will be shared right here in the Olivia Sports Arsenal community. So make sure you are following along, make sure you are engaging with the posts, and most importantly, make sure you are sharing your thoughts, because this community is at its best when we talk about Arsenal together. The window is not open yet, but it feels like it already is, and that is a very good sign. Come on, Arsenal, let us make this summer count.